Okay, so we are today in the What's New for Primo and Primo VE Q2 of 2021, and we are about to go over of the following highlights. One of the NERS enhancement for this year is improve the search with hyphens. I will do a demo. I'll show you how we are going to support for a closed list of common phrases the search with the hyphens. Another huge and big change that we are now delivering is the improved pagination experience. It's mainly about allowing you to show more results on the page. We will do a demo and explain about the gradual release for this one. In addition, for the Primo Legato customers, we are now improving the integration. Based on feedback from your customers, we will no longer show course information as a link and also as a text if the course is part of the reading list that is in draft mode. So we also fix that. We're also going to share some analytics improvement and updates to the accessibility documents that are now available. And as always, we will go over the Primo VE updates. The second quarter of 2021 in Primo, it's the May release, which was rolled out to the sandbox this Sunday, and will continue to roll out, as you can see here, the timeline. And for Primo VE, we are talking about mainly two releases, May and June. It's a shorter quarter, so it contains only two releases, and also May release is already available in the sandbox, as released in April 18. Okay, now let's start drill down. So the first highlight is released first in Primo May release, expected to be released in the July release for Primo VE, is the NERS enhancement of improving search with hyphen. Now, what we are now providing and requested also from the community in this NERS enhancement is to expand the search and support searching for hyphens. We will do that for common phrases. So we will hold a closed list of common phrases. Out of the box, we are giving it in English. Of course, you customers can open a case and request to add more, and it's going to be also sensitive to the language actually enhancing the phrases. What we are going to get from that, if someone is searched, for instance, for handbook with the hyphens, additional results will be retrieved as if the handbook was spelling without it, if it was a compound word, as you can see here. I'm getting additional results where the handbook journal is spelled with no hyphen and no space in it. So we are expanding the search capability. We put here more example like barcode, copyright, co-teaching, and you can see. As I said, it's a NERS enhancement. It's also raised in the idea. And as I also mentioned, it is being supported for a closed list of phrases. We also made those phrases published in the knowledge center, so you can be aware of what kind of phrases this enhancement include. As I said, if you want to add, you can submit a case and request, and we will add it. We will add more phrases based on your request. So this feature was already available in CDI. So the search with hyphen is already supported in CDI, and now we are making available also for the local searches, for searching against your local repository. We are starting with Primo. It's also going to be available soon for the Primo VE. Just before the demo, I just like to mention that we also doing it in the opposite way. So if I search with handbook, it will also retrieve us additional result with the variation as if it's in the hyphens or with the space. And the mechanism that we used to make it work is actually we use the same mechanism as the synonym files. So we are actually expanding the query. So we are checking if there is within the user query a term that is part of those closed list of phrases, we also expand the query and include the, we are sending to the search engine another variation for the query with the terms compound word. So we try to do this with no need of re-indexing the entire data, and we choose to do that using the synonym files mechanism, where it's only all about expanding the query. So this is something that I wanted to share with you. It was part of our consideration. So as you can see here, searching for handbook, we used to get before this feature only those results where the handbook is actually without the hyphen, with the space. And now with this feature, we are getting also as if it's connected. I will try another search. I will search for microorganism. Oops, we'll search for microorganism, of course, organi. Fix my spelling. And you can see that I'm getting the results of microorganism without the hyphens. And I wanted to share that if I also search in the opposite way, the best case, it's also gonna retrieve results in the other direction. So this was about improving the search capabilities, supporting the hyphens for the closed list of common phrases. Okay, next. Next is what we call the improved pagination experience. We mainly target to provide your users the ability to set to control the number of results per page, to increase the number. I think that this is something that the community wants since we launched the new interface, and we keep on pushback and reject because of performance. So now we are delivering it for your user to be able to change. As you can see here, we added these results per page and allowing him to also have 10 or 25 or 50 results per page. But in order to support that and keep the site performance working and functioning as expected, we also did more enhancement. And the enhancement include the enhancement. This feature include also replacing the existing pagination with much more simpler pagination down there below. I remember 2 years or 3 years ago, there was one of the NERS enhancement. It didn't get to the top, but was a lot of complaint of the existing pagination widget. So we took that under consideration and replaced the existing pagination to also follow those communities requests. So we replaced the existing one with a simpler one. And we also, in order to support the site performance, we also replaced the behavior of the load more results to treat more as pagination. So, so far, the load more results behavior was to append the results to the same page, to the bottom of the page, and this causing a lot of issue with performance. Now we are replacing this behavior when switching between among the pages. The entire content will be refreshed, so we can only see up to the selected results per page. We're not going to accumulate results on the page. This improvement is coming in Primo My release, will be released in Primo VE in the June release. I'm sharing with you, it was raised in idea. There was several ideas on that. One that we rejected at the beginning of the new UI, and now we are delivering it by setting it, letting the users set those. As I also wanted to emphasize, of course, this is a cross-system change. It's affecting a lot of pages, as you can see the list here. All of those are simple, advanced, the journal search, all of those pages are being affected from that. In fact, each page that we used to have this existing pagination widget, we touch this and replace it with the simpler pagination navigation. And now we also want to share with you that once a user sets the number of results, it's being retained to the current session. It's been retained to the current sessions. So we plan to have it working for signed in and keep persistent, but we encountered with many issues while implementing it. And so we decided to have only for guest and for user maintain for the current session the number of search results. We also improve the collection discovery. So if someone is setting in the library's main search the results to be 25, it will also affect the collection discovery to show up to 25 items as well. So the settings will be, the collection discovery will be synced with these settings. Okay. Before we go into the demo, I would like to explain about the rollout. So as I said, we are releasing this improved pagination in the May release, in VE June release, disabled by default. So we would like to let you, the customer, time first to adjust to this change. Adjust customization. If you did customization to the load more results area, we are giving you time to adjust your customization over there. We just want to let you know that we would like to have only one pagination as the default one in Primo. So we are thinking in August release to make the new pagination method the default one. And we also, in order to be transparent and let you decide whether to opt in this feature into your production, we touch a sensitive area in the system. We are releasing it in May, but we also reflecting you that there are some known issues, mainly in the citation trails area. So you can decide whether to go ahead with it or no. The known issues are being published. And now I've talked a lot, and I think that the demo will show you and make it much more simple. So I'm searching, and I'd like to share with you. So I have many results. I'm gonna go down. As you can see here, I have 25 results. This is the new pagination. I can select 10 results and I can select 50 results. If I select 50 results, you can see that the performance is quite good. User can scroll down and the results are being loaded while scrolling. Okay, so this is about how 50 results are being loaded to the system. Okay, I can navigate to the next page using the arrow or using the page numbers, clicking the page number. Now you can see that the content was replaced. Okay, and now I have only up to 50 results per page. Okay, let me just move it back to 25. So just want to mention now, so I'm in page 2 and I'm switching it to 25. Just want now to demo for you. So if my settings now is 25 and I'm going now to the journal search, okay, we'll go ahead and see all the journals that starts with J. You can see that the number of results that will be retrieved to me is 25 because this is the setting, and as I said, it's saved across the session. I also mentioned that if I go into the collection discovery, okay, if I go to the collection discovery and I remember 25, so now I will be able to see all the 14. If it was 10, I would see only the first 10. So the setting is being set and effect is also here. Now, let me just search and show you how it's work in other pages like the citation trail. So if I have, let me search something with CDI. So if I have citation trails, they will be also the pagination widget over there. So I can enter the citation trail. And I have 82 results, and I'm seeing the first 25. Just want to mention one of the known issues that we are releasing is, and it was apparently already existing with the pagination, is clicking on the number won't work. Only clicking on the arrow currently works. So we are telling you that this is an issue. We are going to resolve it by August release. So go ahead with that. So just for you to know. Additional thing that I wanted to share is while I'm navigating, we also supporting make the arrows from the full records. Okay, so just a second. If I'm entering the full records, so the navigations keep on working. Okay, we have a challenge. So navigating here is still working. We have a challenge when we are go ahead while I'm now navigating, go ahead into record 24, and I will click twice on the second navigation, go next for 25, go next for the next one. What we expect to have is the page 2 is going to be loaded and replaced behind the scene. Behind this, it's going to be loaded. This is currently not the way it works. Currently, the known issue that we have published, that the page 2, if I close it, will be at the bottom here, but we are going to fix it for August release. So this is the only case where results are being concatenated, and we are going to resolve it. The idea is that we will only see page 2. So this is something that we also release it as is, but we are telling you for your consideration. So as I said, I think that I cover everything that I wanted to demo for you. So as I said, we touched many pages on the screen. It's disabled by default. You can go ahead, try and reflect and give us the feedback. We have a non-issue. Some of them you can live with it and go ahead. I think that is an improvement that the community want and waited for long for that. Anyhow, in August, this will become our default pagination method. Okay, next. Next is improving for the Legato, Primo Legato integration. Now Alma is publishing for us an indication for the course if a course is in draft mode. So in this case, if the course is in draft mode, we will no longer see the course information, mainly not as a link. We don't want to have it if it's in draft mode. So this improvement, in order to apply and take this, you need to update your normalization rules and re-index the course data in order to take it in Primo. This is how it's working in Primo Mai. This is expected to be resolved also in August for the Primo VE customers. More improvement to the analytics area. So we know that we know that there is the zero result searches report, where you are analyzing and try to understand why there were failure for your user to get search results. So we added a new flag. It's called the sticky facet used. As you remember, the sticky facet is the one that you can use filters and lock, and cross searches you can search with the same filters. So we added to the zero results report a new indication, so you can know whether whether the reason for zero results were because the user search using the sticky facet, and this may cause to no results to be found. So you can find this flag in the report. This is available in May for Primo and June in Primo VE. So more option to analyze the zero results reports. Also, the huge effort that we did for the accessibility, I could have said it's coming to an end, but it's never an ending process. But we have the achievement of updating the knowledge center with the documentation, with a new accessibility statement saying that we are almost complied with WCAG 2.1. We have the new VPAT. You can see where we are fully support, where are the partially support. We also publish all of the issues that we resolved. We also publish the leftover and what are the statuses, where it stands. We also deliver more fixes. One of them is being reported in the outstanding, so we are improving the page titles, letting the screen readers know the context of the page that we are currently in. So this with regarding to more updates about accessibility, you can go ahead and use the documentation that are available and update your sites accordingly. More updates about the topic feature. When you are searching for short terms, we have, if you enable, we have the about the topic. What we improve here, we improve the source, reflecting the more correctly, more accurate the source of the record, taking it for the J title or from the B title, and not as it works currently from the collection that you have activated. More thing that I wanted to remind you is that with the May release, we are now saying, following the Microsoft announcement, that Internet Explorer will be no longer supported. They are making Edge the default one, so we are telling you that we are stop certifying the releases with IE. That means that our default tests for the Microsoft tools will be with Edge, okay? So this is what our QA are now targeting. Okay, so far was for the common feature for Primo and Primo VE. Now what is coming in Primo VE? In Primo VE, in the May release, we are releasing the recent search suggestion. It was already released in Primo. The recent search suggestion, it's about show the user while they are start typing the term that are taken from the search history, okay? So we are showing to the user in the autocomplete suggestions that are not only taken from the titles that are being indexed, but also from the previous searches that this user search. So this is something that is being released in May. We also in May improving the database search in Primo VE for multi-campus environment. So now the database search will show the database that are activated for the available for the campus. They will be sensitive for the campus settings. So far it was showing for cross institution and not sensitive to the campus setting. So it's going to be available for him. I just want to share here that the database search category tree will still remain at the institution level. So even if you choose to have sensitive, the database search sensitive to the campus, you may see categories that there will be no database associated because it's may related to databases from other campus, but we're going to remain it as is currently. Okay, additional enhancement in May is improving the dedupe key, matching of the dedupe key to refer to the field of place of production. So we added more matching rules that they are basing, that are now involving the field 264 and the subfields from that. You can see, you read more detail in the documentation center for that. In June release, we are adding the indexing of 505, the table of content, the $T field, so allow user to also to search also by the title, find results based on the subfields, $505 In June, as I mentioned, it's going to be available. The improved pagination experience is going to be available, and we've also intensively worked on displaying, allowing display facet values, the search and display facet values that are taken from the authority, multilingual authority. This is something that I want to have a dedicated slide for that. So what we are working, we are going to release it in Primo VE in 2 phases, in June and in July release. The first phase is if we have a record that is going to be enriched from the authority, and in the scenario of a multilingual preferred from the authority, that means that's like for this topic, that for this topic, for instance, we should enrich from the authority multiple preferred. So there will be a value that is preferred for the German language, the Swiss value that is preferred from the French, for the English variation, and also for Spanish. We are going to make all of those values from the authority being searchable in the Primo VE index. So we are going to index all kind of multilingual preferred records. So if the setting is this is the preferred value for either language, we are going to make them searchable, all of them. And in addition to that, we are going to display them in the facet in 2 setting options. One option to display them in the facet will be to show all the values. We know that some customers want to show all the values, all the multilingual preferred values in the facet. So this will be one setting. I think it's going to be the default one. And there will be another option, another setting that you can display the preferred value sensitive to the user language. So you can see if you are in the French interface, you will see in the facet only the preferred value for the French. So this is a huge work that we did in Primo VE. We'll continue the work on that to enhance and also show all the value also in the detail section of the full records. So this is expected to be released in July. So this was about enriching for the authority when in the case we have a multilingual preferred terms. Okay, so far I covered, I think, everything that I wanted that is coming in the second quarter for Primo and Primo VE. Let's see what are coming next in the next quarter. Next quarter, we are going to release the direct links for PDF using Unpaywall. That means that in the brief result, your user will be able to see links, a PDF icon with an option to go directly to the full text online, to the PDF. We are going to base it on a match using NPI to Unpaywall. If we find the match based on DOI, we will show the PDF link there. So this is one enhancement. Another enhancement, we're going to improve the list of version page, make it more clear where list on how to go back to the search results and make it more clear to the user that we are looking at the list of version. We are also going to have in the save query more notification setting. You can name the notification so you can better arrange or know more about the alert that you are getting when you set that. As I said, we are going to make the new pagination method the default one and resolve all of the known issues that we have published. In Primo VE, we have a nurse to enhance the request form configuration, making more options to define which field in the form is going to be mandatory. This is one enhancement. Another enhancement to the forms will be to have a generic checkbox where you can label whatever label you want, and there will be a checkbox over there that you can determine what to display to your user. In addition, we are also going to have more option to define the description of the request, what this request is all about. We are going to let you define informative text to display in the request. So this is this nurse enhancement. In Primo VE, we also are going to make more option to the discovery role. We can let you define stuff with discovery role as a read-only or even splits to have a dedicated role for staff that can only determine scopes and configure view, where other staff can also enrich resource recommender and other capabilities over there. So this is something that is currently in design. And we are going also to support for CNMAR, more option for normalization rule and display, and adding normalization rule for the local fields and the display to play around. So this is what is expected in the next quarter. Just before we move to your questions, I just want to remind you, Iluna is really right over the corner, starting of May 1st. So there are sessions that you can enjoy. I think that if you register, it's going to be, again, an online. So I think that if you enjoy and register, even if you are in the APAC region, you will be able to get the recording of the session. So if you register, so you can use that. So you are welcome to be in our discovery session in May 18 and the product update in May 27. So you are welcome to join. Also, here you can have a list of upcoming webinar. Mainly, we have upcoming webinar with CDI and content all together. You can go ahead and view that. For the GoVE, there are recording sessions that are already available for you, so you can go ahead. We have also launched a new Primo VE LibGuide. You can find there really useful resources. We try to gather their essential data for you in a more quick and more intuitive way to navigate, so you can use that. Here is the link, the new Primo VE LibGuide. And we are also want to remind you about the live chat. It is existing. We know we got good feedback on the Primo VE user that enjoying that and highly satisfied. So it's a reminder that it's available. This is all of the material. Just use the icon of the chat to get really fast questions about release that are being released and new features and everything you want to ask. Thank you for joining. I hope that it will be a smooth release and you will be satisfied with this improved pagination. As I said, there are some session in Iluna. We'll see you, hope we'll see you there. And that's it. Thank you.